So we're doing like intros the cheap way, because I'm streaming straight from YouTube, which means I don't get like all that fancy that you get on other things. Helps if I actually move the microphone away from the speaker. Okay, apparently that music was cuck. Sorry guys, I thought it was nice. It's just the free music you get on YouTube, so yeah, because that's what you have to use, otherwise you get a copyright strike. Okay, lots of people speculating about when Squirrel's going to talk to us again. Yes, it's Friday. No, it's not cloudy. It's just, I don't know why my lounge is so dark today. I don't know. No, that didn't make it any better, girl child. But thank you for trying. You can go there. The camera angle is only up to the filing cabinet because I turned it. So it's cool. Girl child is helping me. Oh, thank you, Chantal. Yeah, actually that makes it more distracting in the corner. So maybe close that.
I don't want to be on YouTube.
Girl child doesn't want to be on YouTube. Cheers, Ruth. Enjoy visiting your mama. Okay, so I tried to start the stream off on like an upbeat note with some nice music, but apparently it was cuck. So sorry about that. But yeah. Today's topic is actually pretty serious, so I'm going to try and keep it as lighthearted as possible, just to not make people feel more depressed and despondent than they already are. Paul says I mustn't encourage the objectification by saying thank you. You know what? I actually don't mind if people objectify me by saying that I look pretty when I have put extra effort in. So yeah, like I like it when people notice that I actually blow dried my hair today and put on a lighter eyeshadow, and that's why I look a bit better than normal. So hello Marika or Ramika. An intensive care babe, flippin' made it. Well done, round of applause. Woo! Silly germ. Yes, germ is silly. All germs are silly, just so you know. Just, yeah. Okay, so I did do, yeah, this is the correct notebook. I did do a bit of searching for some coping mechanisms for people, because I really feel like a lot of people have got lockdown burnout. Like it's not even lockdown fatigue anymore. It's just straight up burnout. And we are at the point of a collective nervous breakdown if something doesn't end with this lockdown. And I think a lot of people are under the misguided and mistaken impression that lockdown is going to end. And it's not. Quite frankly, it's not. We are going to be very lucky if we get to level 2 and there is a loosening of the reins, so to speak, or chains rather. And I think basically what government is deciding now is if they give us alcohol and cigarettes back at the same time, which is why we haven't heard from our leader until now. And it looks like he's not going to be speaking until the weekend sometime, which quite honestly is just disgusting. But anyway, I don't hold my breath for any speeches that he makes because it's not official until stuff gets gazetted anyway. So yeah, I think for the people that are expecting it to be a lockdown to be completely over and done with, that everything's going to go back completely to normal, I think they're going to be disappointed. And I think that going forward, we need some coping strategies, because even if we get alcohol and cigarettes back, that's only going to keep us happy for so long. So that's why I wanted to do this stream today. Paul Hart, I can't agree with you more. Lockdown will never end. Yeah, I think at this stage it's lockdown or civil war. Those are the options. Shirley can't stay long because she has load shedding at 4 p.m. Lovely. That's another thing, another strategy that we can address is how to work your life around load shedding and load shedding schedules. So yeah, just makes it that little bit less frustrating and life a little bit less stressful. So I have some actual tips from an actual psychologist here, but I did also ask on Twitter what people are doing to cope with lockdown. And I got a lot of video games, hobbies, reading, stuff like that. So yeah, we'll address those because they tie into the actual tips from the psychologist. So first of all, you need to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. So ensure that you're eating well and hydrating. Try and get into a proper sleeping routine and exercise. And then also as part of that is social connection. Because I think even the most introverted of introverts are missing their dearest friends. And so they feel like they want to go visiting and things like that. And I'm actually at the point where I'm saying, go for it. Just freaking well, go for it. Because, yeah, regardless of what may or may not be announced in the next couple of days, we need our social connections. And yeah, I would say definitely start visiting friends and family if you have not done so already, because it is a form of self-care. So just one moment. Daughter, can you please close that door? Thank you. My husband is home and his voice carries. Yeah, we've adapted to lockdown. We have adapted to lockdown, but I think things are getting to a point where it's untenable. You know, we need to, we're social creatures, even those of us that are antisocial. We do miss the human connections that we have. So, yeah. And then there are some tips for, and they're called psychological first aid tips. So you want to be challenging your mindset. So if you wake up and you're feeling, oh God, another day, you actually just need to pull yourself out of that mindset and like just think to yourself, okay, what can I do to change my mindset about this day? Like whatever it takes to change your mindset about the day, to change your perception about the day. Maybe it'll be, oh, you know what, normally I go grocery shopping on a Saturday. I'm going to do it on a Friday because I actually just need to get out of the house. Things like that. Okay. And then you can challenge your mindset about the lockdown and about the virus as well. So like maybe you want to start looking into things like maybe the virus isn't that scary. Maybe the regulations are totally nonsensical and you can start disobeying them. So there's that. Another great coping mechanism, especially for people with anxiety. And I think that anxiety has definitely been on the rise because of COVID panic. So you want to name, claim, and tame your emotions. So now I'm not saying, okay, this emotion is anxiety and that's what I'm going to name it. No, give it a silly name like funny feeling or stupid codif, or give it a funny name so that you knock it down a peg by giving it that funny name. Okay. And then you're claiming it. It's like you claim that emotion. So you're like, yeah, this is how I feel. This is its name. And I'm not going to let it control me. And you can write down some affirmations on a card or something if you like, to say, this, I don't need to be scared of this, or I don't need to feel this way. Anything that relates to your funny feeling that you are suffering from, you can claim it. And automatically what happens once you've named and claimed it is you do start taming it. Okay, because it's not something that is now running around wild in your mind. Okay, you've given it a name, you've said that yes, it's real, and yes, it's my emotion. And so then it starts becoming easier to tame. Okay. Then there are grounding techniques that you can use in moments of extreme panic or anxiety. And these include using your senses or your breath or both. So what you can do is if you're in a moment where you're feeling completely overwhelmed or whatever, you can say, okay, I can see 5 things, and you name those 5 things. And I can touch 4 things, and you name those 4 things. And so you go on, like use a number of things for each sense. And that's what you do. That's how you can ground yourself. And then you can slow your breathing down as well. So there's a breathing technique where you breathe in for 4 counts, hold for 6 counts, and then breathe out slowly for 8 counts. And that can really, really ground you and just make you slow down and think a minute. Okay. Then we can't dismiss the value of doing grounding things such as mindfulness practices during the day, or make it, part of your morning routine. The first thing you do when you get up in the morning is you do a little bit of meditation, stuff like that. Now, I know a lot of people can't slow their brains or their minds down for 10 or 15 minutes a day. 1-minute meditations are a thing as well. So look into things like that. If exercise is becoming a challenge for you because you don't have, obviously no one has access to gyms at the moment, take 2 empty 2-liter bottles, fill them with water. They'll still weigh 2 kilos each, and you can start doing kettlebell exercises with those or something. I don't know. And just look up exercises that you can do on YouTube. I follow a channel called MadFit, and she puts out videos like twice a week, I think. And she covers everything, everything. Like if you want to work on your glutes, if you want to work on your arms, if you want to do your whole body, anything, she does all of it, all of it. So I would highly recommend her, and it's free. It's as free as sitting here watching me. Okay. So I'm going to address the comments quickly because they have been screaming along whilst I've been waffling on about this. And I hope you guys found that valuable. But let me just see if I can go through the comments a little bit. Hello, Lonwabo. I'm so sorry if I pronounced that incorrectly. I am English and I struggle with, I think that's a Zulu name, but I'm probably wrong. And again, I'm sorry. But it's great to have you here. If you like this video, please consider subscribing to my channel. I live stream every day except Saturdays at the same time. So it's great to have you. Lockdown is a state of mind. Just don't be in lockdown, Paul says. And yeah, that's great advice from him as well. And he's gone off to work. Southern Metalhead is busy courting a class, Macy, and that's challenging his mindset. That's a great way to challenge your mindset. Gentle Inflatables is glad she has more than one child, otherwise it would be boring. So yeah. Paul Hart says duct tape and rope and you can have all the human connection you want. Yeah, Paul says gentle inflatables, we will go to level 3.1.73. Vision 6. Okay, and that is all of the comments addressed. So if I can just remind everybody to like the stream or dislike it, doesn't really matter because YouTube still sees it as interaction. So yeah, let me know if you're enjoying my content. Intensive Care Bear says, I'm not the kind of mom who sticks my kids in front of the TV and expects them to entertain themselves. Yeah, that's great. I think parents are also suffering a bit of burnout as well because we're not used to, well, not all of us are used to having them home all the time and having to care for them this much without a break, like dropping them off at grandma or taking them to friends or stuff like that. So yeah, it's there's parental burnout as well, and I am going to get to that sort of thing soon. And hello, Clinton. Jordan says, I found meditation and mindfulness to be very helpful during this lockdown. We should also try keep the little ones, I assume you meant to put in busy during this time. They tend to take isolation much harder. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm going to move on to some parental tips because I am a stay-at-home homeschooling mom of 3 kids myself. So a lot of people would argue that like lockdown didn't really change much for us, but it did because it meant we couldn't go to play dates and things like that. So and it also meant that dad was working inside the home versus outside the home, which meant that our homeschooling room, which is our living room, we kind of had to be quieter in because dad, it's also our home office, and dad was working and on conference calls and all sorts during lockdown. So it has come for with its challenges for homeschooling families as well. The only difference was that we were already set up with curriculums and, you know, all the materials that we needed to carry on with schooling. So I think the biggest thing that people want to do right now, that they need to do for a sense of like they're doing something, is to take small or large steps to protest the lockdown. Okay. So a small step would be to participate in petitions or online protests. That's a small step that can make you feel like you're actually making a difference and you perhaps have a little bit of influence in ending the lockdown, or at least in altering some of the restrictions slash regulations, or the absolute murder of our civil liberties, as I would put it. And then large steps that you can take is you can participate in live protests or just visit friends and family. You know, at the moment that is still not allowed. But I would say, you know what, just go for it. They can't stop us all. They can't arrest us all. And the more difficult we make it, the better. So those are large steps that you can take. Also, perhaps get involved with your local community policing forum or your, you know, neighborhood watches, whatever you call it. Get involved in your community. I mean, your immediate community. I know a lot of people are really struggling under lockdown because of financial implications that the lockdown has had on them. So I know you don't necessarily have money to donate, but perhaps you can donate your time to some community projects or something and just start getting a sense of community back. Because one of the biggest things that this lockdown has achieved and why they will continue to keep the lockdown in place is that they're trying to break our human spirit by forcing us to be apart from our family and friends, apart from our communities, and forcing us to believe that we are dependent on the state because nobody else can rescue us but the state. And there's nothing further from the truth. The state is not going to rescue you. They're not going to save you. They are incapable and unwilling to save you. Okay. So just start getting your sense of community back. Get involved in your communities again, despite what they say. And yeah, the comments have kind of like stopped. So I'm wondering, are all of you just finding me boring as hell? Or are you absorbing this information? Or, you know, is there any questions, comments, suggestions, anything? Want to let me know? And then I shall move along to, okay, Gentle Inflatables is still here, so that's great. Okay, I'm obviously just incredibly engaging right now, and you guys are listening and absorbing, so that's cool. And Michael is working whilst he listens, so that's great. Okay, I just thought that maybe something had gone wrong, so it's great. And Ashley is cooking. Okay, no, that's great. This is what I like about this time of day is I know that it's probably a time of day that moms or dads are busy and they probably just need something to like alleviate the boredom of whatever task they're busy with, which is cooking. I hate cooking. I think cooking is the most boring task in the household. So yeah. All right. So what can parents do balancing work and school and the house? I realize that this might be of less value as things are opening up more and more and more, but I think parents have still faced quite a few challenges because of the schools reclosing. And I think that the schools closing and reopening and closing and reopening is going to be something that's going to be with us for a while because of the advisory from the Department of Health. You know, we want to every time there's a positive infection case in a school, then the whole school has to close down and they spray the school and all sorts. So I think still balancing work, school, and house is going to be a thing that's with us for a long time. I think also financially, people have taken a knock and can't necessarily afford help in the home anymore. So I think a lot of people are, I think this could be timeless information that I'm about to share now. So, managing the house, I would say decide how you want to manage your housework. So are you a weekend warrior where like you want to just like block out Saturday morning and get the whole house cleaned? For once and for all, that's it. That's what you want to do once a week. Or are you a room by room cleaners? So on Monday, you're going to do your bedroom and the main bedroom and bathroom. And then Tuesday, you're going to do the other bedrooms and bathrooms and stuff like that. Or are you a task cleaner? So that's what I would do is I would like decide if that's how you want to manage your house and then just make sure that you stick to a schedule in terms of that, because I think we can all attest to the fact that if you work, if you are living in literal chaos, then your life feels chaotic and it feels like things are out of control. So if you can start clawing control of your home back, that might help. So you can, and then obviously there are some things that need to be done daily, like tidying up, cleaning the kitchen, washing dishes, stuff like that. So what I like to do is I like to do a little bit every single day so that I'm not spending my whole weekend cleaning or whatever. So yeah, just figure out a schedule there that would work for you and your family. Get the kids involved. Children as young as 4 can start emptying the dishwasher, just saying. And yeah, trust them with those tasks. And it's actually quite amazing if you start trusting them with those tasks, how much more they want to help you because you've trusted them. So yeah, just bear that in mind. Yeah, Gentle Inflatables is agreeing with me. Different days for different tasks are great. Yeah, you know, my biggest bugbear is like pulling out the vacuum cleaner to do my bedroom and then packing it away, and then pulling it out the next day to do the living room and then packing it away and blah, blah, blah. But also, I must say, my daughter is 13 and she's old enough and capable enough to vacuum. So that's her chore. And I think she prefers doing it all on one day. Yeah, she just nodded. Yeah. Okay. So, school. Schoolwork, I think, has been, for parents, the most worrying thing about this whole lockdown. So, this is my advice, okay? And this is coming from a homeschooling mom who pulled a child out of mainstream school and has 2 younger children that have never been in mainstream school. And they are on varying levels of learning because of their age, but also because they each have different things that they excel at. So, with that said, I'm going to tell you, and this is crisis parenting, okay? Because we are in a crisis at the moment. So this is a crisis parenting strategy. I'm going to tell you, do what you can and leave the rest. Okay? And I think that that bears repeating. Do what you can and leave the rest. Don't get too wrapped up in stressing about not getting through the schoolwork. Okay? Because first of all, children don't fall behind. Okay? They're not going to fall terribly behind because they haven't been in school for 4 months. bearing in mind of the 4.5 months that we have been in lockdown, at least 5 of those weeks would have been school holidays anyway. So we're only talking about 3 months here so far. Okay. Unless you have a child that is in matric, and we're still hoping to hold matric exams at some stage this year, I honestly don't believe that children are going to fall horribly behind. Yes, next year they might need extra lessons. But at the moment, we are triaging the family's needs. Okay. So we need to prioritize not living in chaos because our houses need to be maintained to a certain level of hygiene and order. Okay. Because it's good for the mind, and it just, if you look around your house and you can see that everything is in order, it puts your mind at rest. Okay. So we're making the house a priority, and then if you're working from home, because obviously you need to be working to bring in the money so that you can actually care for your family. And I know that that's a major stress for parents at the moment. I just want to address the comments before we carry on. Making their own beds, absolutely, yeah. Yeah. Actually, my youngest makes everybody's bed, which is quite cool. Gentle Inflatables had a question for me about curriculum. You can choose your curriculum. So you can choose CATS or you can choose IAB, which is normally Cambridge. There's a lot of homeschooling providers, curriculum providers in South Africa. So you can honestly choose, and you can choose according to your financial situation as well. So if you're asking personally, what I do is I have access to the CAPS curriculum, and I use that as like a guideline to see whereabouts they should be, and then I build out from there. So, yeah. And yes, teaching them in other ways by doing times tables outside, drawing with chalk on the driveway, different surroundings helps them instead of sitting by a desk. Absolutely. And traditional schooling, sitting behind rows of desks and keeping quiet and concentrating and stuff like that, it mainly works for girls. It doesn't really work for boys. Funny that. Yes, that's what I said. Well, yes, you do get chatterbox girls that can disrupt the class, but generally it's boys that want to run around beating each other and girls want to sit down and talk about things. So, Anti-Marxist ZA says, it sounds as if after lockdown is over, we might only have to go to the office on a rotational basis with the option to work from home most days, which is one positive to come out of lockdown. Yeah, that is great. We have, however, come to this conclusion after the first 2 weeks, proving that we are able to do our work just as well from home. I know. My husband had the same thing because he's a manager and he has technicians on each of his sites. So basically, he just has to check in with his technicians, make sure they're coping with the workload. If they have any problems, they can phone him and he'll help them. And then pop into the sites once a week and show face with the clients and make sure that they're happy. Yeah, took lockdown for the people that pay his salary to realize that. So anyway, never want that topic. Um, Gentle Inflatable says they like robots at school, so I do the outside stuff with my boys, learning through play. Absolutely, it does. Yeah. And Femme Fatale says her son always disrupts the class. Well, I can tell you now that if one of my sons had been in mainstream school, I would have been told to medicate him because, yeah, the teachers would not have found him very easy to teach. It just happens. But yes, it does also help to get like the physical stuff, get boys physical and let them run around for a little bit before making them sit down to do some learning, and then let them run around for a little bit more. And, you know, I think a home environment is more conducive to learning for boys than, or at least an alternative environment to industrialized schooling, in my honest opinion. And then we're going to move on to the next tier of adulting, which is work. So how do you manage working from home whilst caring for children and managing the house? And if you haven't done so already, I would talk to your employer and find out, like, is it possible that you can do some work in the evenings so that your time during the day is available to pay attention to your children? I know that this leads to burnout, and I know that this leads to us not having a personal connection with our partners necessarily, but we need to think of creative ways that we can continue to work under these conditions, because what started out as a 3-week lockdown has now been 20 weeks. It's nearly 5 months. And it might carry on indefinitely. Like we just, I mean, indications are that it is going to carry on indefinitely, which in my personal opinion is just absolutely stupid, but we don't really have a choice at this stage. So we do just need to brainstorm alternative ideas to how we can get through this. So, yeah, those are the tips that I could come up with. I hope that you find specifically the psychological ones of value. Yeah, I think people keep saying on all the live streams that have been happening during lockdown that it's what has kept them sane. And to be honest, I think it's that social connection. You know, everybody is interacting with each other in the comments. A lot of people have made friends through live streams on YouTube. So, yeah. I think keeping up the social connection is really important because we do like socializing. And then also the people that have picked up new hobbies or continued with hobbies that they already were doing are also coping a hell of a lot better than other people. I mean, people have started YouTube channels. Other people have started businesses, or they've diversified their businesses. They've diversified their income streams, all of that. So I think if you're sitting in a situation where you're feeling incredibly low and incredibly frustrated about this lockdown, try and find something new to do, or pick up an old hobby. I hadn't crocheted for a very long time when lockdown began, and so I started doing it again. And I ripped out projects that I'd already made and they weren't perfect, and I redid them. And, you know, things like that, you can always do that. Gentle Inflatables is glad that her boys can only go 2 days a week to school. If you look back in history, almost every pandemic has lasted about 2 years. Yeah. And even after the pandemic part is over, the virus is still around for years after that. So, yeah. Honestly, yeah. And Feng Patel is saying the key to combating depression is community. Yeah, for some people, like introverts make their own way of community. So I thought maybe we could brainstorm some hobbies that people can take up, like crocheting, knitting, sewing. Like nothing quite picks my spirits up like making something. It really, I think that's why at the beginning of lockdown, everybody was baking and trying new meal ideas and stuff like that, because, you know, it was like basically the only thing we could make, because our communist minister of trade and this industry shut all of the hobby stores, so you could only buy food, so the only thing you could make was food related. But you know, now I think it's great to start learning how to like learning new skills, even if you pick up a hobby that can be monetized. Like my husband already had his little resin jewelry making hobby before lockdown, and he used lockdown to hone his craft. And so he made this last weekend, which I think is flippin' amazing. When you look at what he made just over a year ago, it's not even perfectly round on the inside. From that to that in a year. And lockdown really accelerated his learning curve on that. So, yeah. Gentle Inflatables has mastered how to hide her chocolate, which is incredibly important as a mom of 3, because they always find it, don't they? I actually don't know how much the rings are, which is quite shocking. Love, if you're watching, can you let me know how much they are? Let's see if we can ask him on WhatsApp. Finn Patel wishes she had chocolate to hide. Gentle Inflatables, you can contact me via email, and then I'll put you in contact with Mr. Eleutheria. And my email address is Eleutheria, ZA0 at gmail.com. So that's a 0, not a O. Okay. And then I'll get your email. Okay. Ruth says she's got tiny fingers like a child's. Ruth, this is a 4. And my husband made a ring for it. And this is a 6, I think he said, which fits my middle finger. So, yeah. And husband replied, so I shall let you know. Okay, he says, depends on type, but otherwise between 225 for basic wood up to 375 for a steel core. So this is the steel core. This is the steel core because it's actually got a steel ring in the middle and then like a resin inlay. And then, yeah, wood or wood and resin. This, he actually put chips of wood in resin, let the resin set, and then carved a ring out of it. Jordan says, writing about our problems can be extremely therapeutic. I previously purchased the self-authoring program from Jordan Peterson. Oh, I really need to do that. I really need to do that. I think writing definitely has its place in today's world. Yes, yes. Yeah, I didn't even put that in the psychological coping tips, like journaling. Just doing a little bit of journaling every day can really help. So yeah, start a blog or just write in a normal book, like a notebook with, and even if you don't have time or the energy to do that, or like, I think we're all losing the art of handwriting because, we're like this on our phones all the time and like this on computers all the time. So I think it is a dying art and we're losing the strength in our hands to actually hold pens. So if that's hard for you, then just open the Notes app on your cell phone and make notes. J, I think I'm a J. I think this is a J, which is a 4. He's got an international sizing chart, conversion chart in his workshop. So he'll know what a J is in terms of, yeah. So I'm sure he can. I'm sure he can. Yeah, Ruth says, we'll try in a jewelry shop. Don't they go according to numbers of alphabet? Not sure. And she's allergic to various alloys, so she likes the idea of wood and resin. Yeah, it could be hyperallergenic. No guarantees. Yeah, but yes. Yes, a lot of us probably do have a story we could write a book about femme fatale. Definitely, definitely. By the way, people, femme fatale and rebellious Ruth are also channels by women. Please go and give them a subscribe and a watch and all of those good things. Yeah, like I was saying to Gentle Inflatables, Ruth, my husband does have a chart up in his workshop of what a J size is and what does it equate to a 4 or a 5 or a 6 or whatever. So yeah, he can convert it. Otherwise, he can tell you how to measure your circumference of your finger with a piece of string and then lay it on a ruler and you can get the size. So that's, I mean, you can monetize your hobbies. I'm trying to sell things that I have made, baby clothes, things I've crocheted, stuff like that. So, there's also ways to get through the economic depression that lockdown has brought. And I think also people are starting to appreciate handmade or homemade things again, rather than buying them cheaper from China, because they've realized how becoming dependent on a centralized source for everything has actually been detrimental, because we've had supply chain problems ever since the beginning of this pandemic, which was in December, quite honestly. So, yes, you know, supporting local, I think people are more inclined to do so now than before, even if it does cost a little bit more. They know that you're not doing it because you're trying to rip them off. You're doing it because you want to put a meal on your table at the end of the day and keep a roof over your head. People are starting to realize that again, which is good. It's another good thing that came out of lockdown. Husband did send a few more replies, I think. So let me just have a look. Yes, he says sizes by numbers or letters are fine. Got the cheat sheet to convert. Okay. Otherwise, diameters also work. So we can, yeah. So you can take a ring that you know already fits you, and you can measure that internal diameter, and we'll be able to manufacture a ring that fits. So yes, I probably should have ticked that box that said this video includes a paid promotion. Like, disclaimer, everybody, I am marketing my husband's stuff that he makes. Yes, the nice thing about homemade stuff is its uniqueness. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, you can get, like, this is a one-of-a-kind ring. It's an absolute one-of-a-kind ring. And I want to find what else he made from, because he bought a blank. I'm not sure if you can see the colors. So there's like turquoise and pink and white. So we were in one of his suppliers' shops, and I saw this blank with all of these beautiful colors mixed together. And I just said to him, I have to have that in my life. I don't care what you make for me, but I need these colors in my life. So we bought the blank, and it was pretty expensive. But he bought it for me anyway. And then he bought a kit to go in it, and it's a quick unpick. And I know it's around here somewhere. So I'm just going to look for it quickly whilst I carry on talking to you. So if I go off camera, I'm sorry, but my microphone is still attached. So I am talking to you whilst I look for this beautiful quick unpick that he made for me. And so I've got a custom handle for my quick unpick, and he put this thing in. The place also makes, it was here, I'm telling you it was here. I think it might be in that thing. Did I put it away? Hold on. Bear with me, people. Bear with me. I'm sorry. But I really want to show this to you. The other thing that this supplier has is pens. So you can have a custom handle for a pen. And they even have fountain pen insert doodahs. So it's not just ballpoint pens. I don't know why I put this box up so high. No, I didn't put it in there. Damn it. Damn it. Where's it gone? Where is it gone? Are you all laughing at me climbing? Paul wants to know if everyone's feeling mentally healthy now. Gentle Inflatable says, in our community, we have a foodies page. Local people in community sell homemade stuff. Cool. That's awesome. No, he doesn't only make rings. So he, oh goodness. Hannah, can you please go get my pendant that Daddy made for me with the stone from Declan in? You know that big wooden pendant? It's in the left door of my cabinet goodie. Thank you. I'm going to go off camera and take the mic off, and I'm going to find that quick unpick because I really want to show you guys. It depends on the bracelet, gentle inflatables. I have ideas for making beads for bracelets. So. I don't know what I did with my quick unpick, because I think I might have shown my sister last week, and then where did I put it? It's very strange, but no matter. Okay, so he made this, which is a giant wooden pendant, which I love. What he did was he so the wood is like broken off, and then he painted the edge of the wood so that you see it more, and then he cast it in. He put resin over it, and over here in the middle, my son collects stones, so he finds stones and then puts them in this damn red light from this camera keeps showing up. And he'll like bring me a stone and he'll say, Mommy, I found this for you. It's a crystal. So he set one of the stones that my son gave me inside the resin in the middle of this pendant. Paul, I'm looking for my quick unpick. So it's one of these, or seam ripper, whatever you call it. And my husband made me one with a custom handle because I go through these things like butter. Like they go blunt after I've used them for a couple of months. So he made me a handle, a custom handle for one, and now I can't find it. And I'm incredibly concerned about that. It's not in there. And I really wanted to show you it. But yes, he can make those. He turns them on the lathe. He can make pens. There's like absolutely very few limitations to what he can actually make. I can't whack someone over the head with it, but I can with this. Yeah, this might hurt if I like swung it. If I swung it at someone, it might hurt because it's rather large. But I can also stab people in the temple or the eye with a quick unpick. So it's a good defensive weapon for close combat. And I'm not even joking. Okay, I'm going to take Paul's advice. I'm going to close my eyes and picture the background the last time I had it. I know where I had it, that I can remember. I was over there. And I showed Sarah. I know. My daughter says it's not there. Oh dear. And Paul never loses stuff. Yeah, you know, I've been procrastinating on tidying this corner for so long, which is why I'm losing stuff at the moment, including my mind. Including but not limited to my mind. So it's actually why I'm gonna tidy whilst I carry on talking to you. Debbie Danger. Did Sarah really like it? I don't know. No, she wouldn't have stolen it. Oh, yeah, I get what you're saying. No, she wouldn't have taken it. She would have asked for her own, or she would have asked for a crochet hook with a custom handle, which is a good idea, I think. You can't lose something you never had, Beth, so I get told. Oh, you're talking about my mind. Yes, this is true. Can't lose your mind. You never had one to begin with. Do you like my yarn collection? It's pretty, hey? Now you'll be able to see how busy or not busy I've been crocheting, depending on my yarn collection. And I just realized that I don't have to sign off in a hurry because Morning Shot isn't streaming because he's not home. Lucky fish. Oh, I actually shouldn't fold this because what I can do is, you see all these offcuts from all the stuff I make? I don't throw them away because they end up in pillows. Those of you that are new here will not know that I stuff pillows. It's behind me in the blue pot. It's not. These are my crochet hooks. It's not in there. These are just my crochet hooks and a rotary cutter. See these cheap crochet hooks? They need handles. So I'm going to get my husband to mold handles for them. Because these thin ones hurt your hands after a couple of hours of crocheting. That's why I started buying these ones. But they're expensive. Yeah, I'm really bummed that I can't find that thing now. And now I'm distracted. Because I actually genuinely think I might be ADD. Paul, I can't turn the pink cloth into a G-string because come I teach you something about fabric, okay? This pink fabric doesn't stretch because it's woven fabric, okay? So this is good for making quilts and cushion covers and some dresses and stuff like that. So there's no stretch, and underwear needs to stretch, okay? So this is cotton knit, which stretches one way. This one actually doesn't have much stretch, but it doesn't stretch that way. And then you get cotton lycra. This is cotton lycra, which is actually used to be a shirt, not a a tank top. And this stretches always. See, so that's why I can't use that to make a G-string. Not even for someone as tiny as me. Bye, Michael. Thanks for hanging around for so long. I'm sure this is really not up your alley now. So what is the gist of the mental health thing? Is Beth nuts? Beth is incredibly nuts. She's absolutely lost the plot ages ago. Ages ago. Like, I mean, come on, I had 3 kids. You have to be crazy to do that more than once. Do I have camo material? Not anymore. I used to. What did I use it for? I made those play mats, hey? Yeah. So I made these play mats that are called at one stage snatch bags. And then I found out that that's actually like you don't refer to things as a snatch because British people call something else a snatch. So I called them grab bags. So it's like this bag, you push it out flat. Where's the little one? It was around here just now. Your brother left it. Thank you. You can throw it from there. Thank you. So this is a little one that I made. So when you get the straps all out, it goes flat, and it's like a place that babies can play. Yeah, I made much bigger ones, and so the babies can play because it's a flat mat. And then when they're done playing, you grab the straps on either side, like so, and the toys are still on the mat, and you go like so. It doesn't work with this one too well because it's so small. And you have a bag. And the toys are in the bag. So I made that with camo material. Last year there were 3 babies that were baptized like all at the same time. And so I made all of them these bags. And yeah. So yes. Can I make you a ghillie suit? I probably could, I just don't want to. Yes, burp cloths are nice and easy to make, and I probably have the fabric to do it. Yeah, because I have quite a bit of cotton knit and cotton lycra. Becky Chile is very happy that crime was down during lockdown and would like us to be in lockdown forever. Becky Chile can go suck a lemon in the middle of the ocean on his own without a life raft. Paul, do you know what a spoegdoek is? A burp cloth is a spoegdoek. You know, because when you wind the baby, they always bring up a little bit of the milk. Um, I swear he's just. I swear he's just having us on, Laura. Like, ignore him. I, yeah. I've learned when he's teasing. I honestly think he's just having us on. I can make memory bears. The thing is, they're very expensive. Very expensive. The reason why it's very expensive is because of the planning and the amount of time that it takes to plan each piece of the memory bear, to use all of the clothes that get sent to you. And then also stuffing is quite expensive. And you want to buy new stuffing. You don't want to, like, when I stuff pillows with scraps of material, it's because it's pillows that I'm going to use in my own house. You can't do that with memory bears or anything that you want to sell for that matter. Paul, we're talking about babies, not not your grown ass adult son. Laura, I told you he's having us on. I told you. I really want to know who my quick unpick is. So you didn't beat your son when he was a baby to make him burp, Paul? Good for you. Good for you. I want to try something because I want to see if this works. Let me know in the comments. If I put this inside here, does it start sounding like you're in the sea? Do you sound like you're in the sea? Or does it make my voice sound better? Because I need to know if this is something that I need to carry on working on, or if I can now actually just throw this egg thingy away. And I shall also listen to the replay to see if this makes any difference or meaningful, helpful difference to the sound. How do I know your son is grown? Because you told me that you ride motorbikes together and all that stuff. Yes, I'm going to make Paul a crochet on a brookie, and I'm going to find the itchiest, scratchiest, horriblest wool ever to make him a crochet on a brookie. So, without the egg thingy, with the egg thingy, without, with. Everybody's saying throw it away. Okay. I threw it. And I gave the dog a fright because I didn't realize she was on the couch that I threw the egg thingy on. You see, now the men are saying, well, I assume anti-Marxist ZA is a man. I'm sorry if I'm gone and assumed your gender incorrectly. But the men are saying throw the egg thingy away, and the women are saying that it's clearer with it. So now that means that I have to go and re-listen to this thing with my husband. This reminds me, Laurel or Yanni? Laurel or Yanni? Do you remember that? You have told me that you're a man. I'm so sorry that I forgot that you have told me that you're a man. I have 3 children. My brain is fried. And Femme Fatale's boyfriend thought that I was talking about throwing my husband away. And he assumed that I love my husband. And I do love my husband. You assume correctly. And I would never throw him away. Paul Hart, an anti-Marxist ZA, identifies as a man, and his pronouns are his and he. Oh, the crochet onderbroek. No, the itchy crochet onderbroek is for Paul. Because he can't get more grumpy than what he already is. So maybe he already has itchy crochet onderbroek. That's why he's grumpy. Now he's going to come back and say, I don't wear onderbroek. Now apparently I've made a mistake. You're assuming his identity based on his gender, cis. And anti-Marxist ZA is identifying as athletic built. So that's all we need to know. Yeah. But I'm sure, surely you're not finding this conversation that interesting. I have lost a few viewers. Not that I really care that people have tuned out. I mean, I do this for the people that watch. And if you don't watch, it's cool. Oh, that's funny. Make him an RSA flag. He supports his country and his country supports him. Oh, that's cute. Yeah. All right. So I am going to sign off though, because otherwise people are going to look at the length of this video and they're going to be like, yeah, I don't think I have that much time to watch, to learn anything. But yeah, the stuff that I wanted to share, the stuff that I hope was meaningful and actually brings help to people is at the beginning of this stream. And so hopefully that'll be of value to people and they'll only stop listening when I started talking cock about quick unpicks that I couldn't find. And I shall share it on the next stream when I find it. So, but I am going to sign off. Paul missed all the mental health stuff, so he's screwed. You can always watch the replay. That way you get to watch me on double speed. And then it's less painful because it's over quicker. But yeah, I'm going to sign off and I will catch you guys on Sunday. I haven't thought of a topic yet for Sunday. I'm really trying to get at least a week ahead on topics, but with things being based so much on current events at the moment, like everybody's just being very reactionary to current events. I'm kind of hoping that Squirrel's going to speak to us tomorrow so that we'll have something to talk about on Sunday with regard to that. Otherwise, yeah, I just don't know what we're going to do. I know I sound like a chipmunk on double speed. I watch myself on double speed. I go back to check like how stuff looked and how it sounded and stuff. And yes, Sunday service, how to give hubby Brooklaks. No, 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 thanks. No. But yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Go out into your communities, get involved, because it can really go a long way to helping your own mental health and how you can cope with this lockdown. So, yeah, stay safe out there. Don't wear a mask if you don't have to, because it's just a virus and we're all going to get it anyway. I'm sorry, I can't be serious about this thing anymore. I just can't, which is awful because I know that people really have died from it, and I'm not discounting that at all. However, I think we need to be realistic that, viruses come and go and we do lose life for a number of reasons. And yes, so I'm not going to go out and cough on people because I don't want to be arrested. But yeah, have a good one. Do something fun tomorrow. I'm going to visit some people. And yeah, just do something that'll make a difference in your life or somebody else's. And I'll see you on Sunday. Cheers.